Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
Greetings, viewers and subscribers. Now, over the past few weeks, I've carried a few stories about customer care representatives being arrested at the IBX Global Call Center in Portmore. Well, last week, 3 females were arrested in the same scam. Jody Ann Fung, she is 28 years old and she was a team manager at IBX. She is living at Garden Boulevard, Ensom City in Spanish Town. It is alleged that over time, she created 45 gift cards valued at $4,181 United States dollars and sent them to email addresses that does not belong to IBX customers. Colleen Fiddler, she is popularly known as Joyd. She is a 28 years old customer service rep manager. She is living at 6th Street in Greenwich Town in Kingston 13. It is alleged that over time, she created 22 gift cards valued at $1,538 US dollars and she sent them off to email addresses that does not belong to IBX customers. Chanel Vassell, she's a 23 years old customer service rep and she's living at Bread Lane in Kingston 14. It is alleged that over time, she created over 100 gift cards valued at 18,000 United States dollars and sent them to email addresses that does not belong to IBX customers. It is alleged that the 3 females and other persons benefited from this scam. As a result, they were arrested and charged for 1. Simple larceny, 2. Access with intent to commit or facilitate the commission of a crime, and 3. Conspiracy with unknown persons. All 3 of them, they will be going to the courts shortly to face a judge, and we are told that more arrests will be made in this scam soon and very soon. A word to the wise. Now, in this next story, this one name, Be Ye Careful. What me say it name? It name, Be Ye Careful. Men especially. Listen this. 2 men, age 50 years old. They are living in Florida and Canada, but they are from Jamaica. They decided on going to Jamaica to have a good time, and no, this is not a man and man relationship. This is a brethren and brethren relationship. You got that? So one of the men, he arrived in Jamaica before the other one day last week. His brethren, he came in later in the night and he went and picked him up at the airport and they headed back to the location where they were staying at Reading in the parish of St. James. The 2 men, they decided to hit the road the same night to have some fun. They reached at Moods nightclub along the Jimmy-Cliff Boulevard about some minutes to 1 o'clock. Whilst at the Moods nightclub, one of the men, he met a female. They had a few drinks and they strike a deal. Do you know what kind of deal that was? You do? Okay then. So they had a few drinks and they left the club. All 3 of them, they returned to the location where the 2 men were staying at Reading. The one who struck the deal with the female, he was staying in a room downstairs. So his friend, he went upstairs and went to sleep. Early the next morning, about some minutes after 8 o'clock, the friend that was staying upstairs, he woke up and he went downstairs. When he went to check on his friend was fast asleep and the front door for his apartment was wide open. The female was nowhere to be found. The apartment was ransacked. Now, the gentleman, he tried to wake up his friend, but he could not wake him up. As a matter of fact, that friend did not wake up until sometime after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know what happened right here, right? So when the gentleman woke up and his friend told him what he observed, they checked the room and cash amounting to 3,800 United States dollars, the man's passport and driver's license, cellular phones and other electronic items were missing. A report was made to the police, who commenced investigation. We are told that CCTV footage was viewed and the police, they found out who the female was. As a matter of fact, a male was also seen on the CCTV footage going in and coming out of the apartment. And may I talk about when both men were fast asleep. You remember what I said? This story is called Be Ye Careful. So the police, they carried out a raid and we are told that the female and the male, they were located. As a matter of fact, the male was found with several of the stolen items. Both of them, they were arrested and charged by the police. The female's name is Sashanine Porter. She is 24 years old and she's living at West Village in Montego Bay. The male, his name is Miguel Hogg, but he's popularly known as Blacks. Blacks celebrated his 17th birthday just last week. He's living at Creek Street in Montego Bay. So both of them, they'll be going to the courts shortly. Once again, men especially, be ye careful. You know how much things could have happened right here, so? Ah boy. This accident, it took place early this morning, Wednesday, May 24, about some minutes after 2 o'clock. It took place right in the vicinity of the Half Moon Golf Course in the parish of St. James. Now, if you look on your screen, there are the 3 vehicles that were involved. What we are learning is that the Toyota Noah, it was being driven by a 25-year-old man from an Anchovy address in the parish of St. James. It is said that they were coming from a party, and we are told that at that party, the driver, he was drinking very hard. The Noah was heading towards Montego Bay from Greenwood direction. On reaching the vicinity of the entrance to the Half Moon Sugar Mill restaurant, the Noah, it collided into the concrete median. As a result, it got out of control. Listen this now. Listen this. The Noah, it got out of control. It then swerved left across the roadway, then exited the road onto the left embankment. It then collided into a metal sign and a wooden fence post. The Noah, it then overturned on its right side, then went back onto the roadway and slid across the road before stopping in the right lane. Hear this now. During all of this, a young man who was in the Toyota Noah, he was thrown from it. His name is Marceno Campbell. He is 19 years old and he was living at Princess Street in Montego Bay. Marceno, he was thrown from the vehicle onto the left embankment through a door opening which was torn off during the process. The Subaru motorcar, it was traveling behind the Noah and the Mark X was traveling behind the Subaru. The Subaru stopped and the Toyota Mark X, it collided into the back of the Subaru, pushing it off the roadway onto the left embankment. The Toyota Mark X, it then got, it's a mouthful, not true? Yeah man, I know it's a mouthful, but I'm just trying to explain exactly how this happened. So the Mark X, it hit in at the back of the Subaru. As a result, the Subaru was pushed off the road onto the left embankment. The Toyota Mark X, it then got out of control and exited the roadway onto the said left embankment where it apparently ran over Marceno, who was thrown from the Toyota Noah. Marceno, he died on the spot. We are told that the drivers and passengers of all 3 vehicles, they were injured. Sad indeed. And talking about accident, that female on your screen, her name is Danielle Pink. She is 31 years old and she was a cashier. She lived in Negril in the parish of Westmoreland. On the early morning of Monday, April 24, Danielle, she was the passenger in a white Toyota Mark X motor car when the car ran off the road and collided into a concrete utility pole. The pole was broken and fell across the road. The Mark X, it ended up in a ditch about 20 meters away from the utility pole. Danielle, she was thrown from the car and died as a result. That incident, like I said, it took place on the early morning of Monday, April 24. Well, 1 month later, Danielle's younger sister, there she is on your screen. Her name is Shadae Pink. She is 28 years old and she lived at Campbell Avenue in Port Antonio, Portland. Shadae and a group of persons, to include that young man on your screen. His name is Keno James. He is 23 years old and he lived at Johntown Road, also in Port Antonio. About 11 o'clock last night, Tuesday, May 23, 1 month after Shadae's sister Danielle was killed. Shadae, Keno, and other persons, they were playing domino at Alfred Lane in Port Antonio when a grey Toyota Fielder motor car drove up. A hoodlum exited the car and opened gunfire directly at Shadae, who was in an advanced stage of pregnancy, killing Shadae on the spot. Keno, he was also shot and he died as a result. We are learning that the getaway driver for this car was a female and she was the one who ordered the hit. It is said that this killing is as a result of a love triangle. Remember, I told you that Shadae, she was in an advanced state of pregnancy. Well, another female, she was adamant that Shadae would not be having the baby. We are told that that female is being questioned by the police as we speak. Sad indeed. This next incident, it took place yesterday afternoon, Tuesday, May 23, about some minutes to 4 o'clock. It took place along Walkway 15 at 5 East in Greater Portmore in the parish of St. Catherine. We are learning that a man, his name is Kevin Burke, but he's popularly known as Ratty. Ratty is 29 years old and he was living in the same area. It is said that Ratty, he was sitting under a mango tree when he was approached by a hoodlum armed with a gun. The hoodlum opened gunfire at Ratty, hitting him in his upper body. The hoodlum then made good his escape on foot in the area. The police were called and from all indication, Ratty, he died on the spot. We are told that when this crime scene was processed, 3 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to do it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that as soon as we drop a new video, you will be the first to be notified. In the final story for today, and we dropped a video this morning. If you have not yet watched it, go back and watch it. This incident took place this morning, Wednesday, May 24, about 9 o'clock. It took place in the vicinity of the Portmore Community College along West Parade at Portsmouth in Portmore. We are learning that 3 men, they are employed to the National Solid Waste Management Authority. They were picking up garbage and placing it in a garbage truck. Whilst they were working, the 3 garbage collectors, they were approached by 2 hoodlums armed with guns. The hoodlums, they opened gunfire at one of the men who appeared to be their intended target. His name is Satish James, but he was popularly known as Chuku. He is 20 years old and he lived in the Bell Rock area of Cockburn Pen in Kingston 11. Chuku, he received gunshot wounds to his head. Another of his co-worker, He is 30 years old. He received gunshot wounds to his left thigh whilst the other worker. Luckily, he was not harmed. The hoodlums, they then boarded a black Honda Stepwagon motorcar, making good their escape. It is suspected that Chuku, he died on the spot. The other man, he was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 13 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them knock out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, what a shame. But me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when me turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cancer and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a